Okay, let's start a recording. How to use Illustrator. Now you open up your Illustrator, create a new documents. Create a new documents. You can click here, create a new documents too, but you are also welcome to click this one on the left. There's several options. My laptop is a little slow. Letter size, web large. Since it's just single items, we simply just choose the letter size. And so this is a letter size artboard, and one artboard already created. I already explained before, artboard is like a canvas. Whatever you draw on that board, finally it will be export here. Whatever, I told you it's a little slow, I'm sorry. What happened? So whatever you have here, if you finally decide to export that image, and then export as, if you click use artboard, and then whatever on that artboard will be exported. So that's why we want to use an artboard. It's kind of help us to organize. And you can draw whatever you want. Like you can draw something here like this, but when you export, only this corner on the artboard itself could be exported. If you have some color here, it's completed outside this artboard, it could be saved, but it cannot be exported when you use the artboard to export everything. So basically, it's a canvas. You need to define that a canvas first. So that's why we use artboard. And once you have artboard created, now you can drag your scanned document in. It's way too big. So you press and hold Alt. It's kind of give you the bigger view. You can see the whole image, and then you click the Shift. You press and hold the Shift and choose this corner, and it will resize this image with a proportion it used to have. Like I said, this image here, everything outside this artboard cannot be exported. So that is, this black line is the edge of the artboard. Right now it's still a little bigger than the artboard, but it's okay because our drawing is already on that artboard. And another thing here is this image have a cross in the middle, which means here, this is Illustrator consider it's a linked file. So when you save your file, Illustrator will consider this image only memorize where it came from. It's from my desktop, so it's only remember. If I remove this image, then next time when you open this file, it will ask you there's a missing file, you want to replace it. So first step, I would highly recommend, since you saw this cross, you would remember, you would need to remind yourself, you need to embed this image. So now we don't have this cross, it's embedded. So once you save this file, it will be there. That Illustrator will remember everything, will save everything, including this image, not just a linked file. So I would always encourage you create a new file first, then drag the image next. The difference is once you drag create a file first, you will have this color plates. What's the difference? Maybe show you. If I draw a line, and then you see this one, you have this color palette because it's kind of, you have all those different color, and you're welcome to try. If you didn't create a new file, you just drag this your scanned documents directly into Illustrator, and then you probably cannot see those colors. So if you create a new file first, then Illustrator will automatically give you this kind of default color palette. So that is the ones you need to remember. Create an image first, and then create a file first, then drag in. And yeah, I am surprised. Okay, I just randomly draw this line. It seems that this is exactly what I need. Okay, let's go back to the first step. Since we already created this one, and we have this image placed in the first layer, and usually I would like to lock this layer first, and then we're starting draw on the top of it. But before I want to lock this image, adjust the opacity, because this is not a very strong drawing. So it's kind of very hairy here. You can see those edges. So I just want to reduce the opacity. So later I could use those digital drawing skills to having a better line. So once I locked this layer, anything on this layer, it cannot be moved or adjusted. So I won't need worried I would accidentally choose this layer again. You can see my cursor, I cannot choose this one. So now we started drawing, and when you apply drawing, you don't want to kind of use you do not want to do this kind of surrounded, have those one single profile line surrounded your image, because it's gonna be too static if you do this. So let me stop here. If you want to do this, go all the way. Okay, I definitely can finish this one to show you what does it means, too static. So you don't want to fill any color, just remove any color and apply stroke. I usually like dark black. So that's what I mean. It's kind of too static. It's having a single line surrounded. That you don't want to do this, because we still want to have those sketch feelings. So that's actually what I'm trying to focus on. So we need a kind of, feels like you still use a pencil, because when we use a pencil, we normally draw a simple curvy line or draw a straight line. So you still just apply a one straight line, because when you use a pencil, you cannot turn it around to go all the way use one stroke. So if only gonna be one stroke, then we press escape here. This is one stroke. That is like when we use a pencil, we have a one stroke. So, but that lines have the same thickness. That's not what we want. So we need to adjust here with profile 1. You can choose this one, and also make it a little thicker, maybe, and adjust too thick, I guess. Adjust the opacity. So maybe this is the first line we want. So you can tell, if I zoom in, you can tell this line had a very light start, very thin start, and it's kind of gets thicker in the middle and gets thinner at the end. That's exactly when you use your pencil, why we always recommend to having stroke like this, kind of vanishing on the both sides. So once you have the first line done, I want you to hit this graphic style, this one, graphic style. Oh, maybe this one. Okay, graphic style. Okay, I'm sorry. Hit this one, graphic style, and make sure you already choose this one, and then create a new style. Then you have it recorded, this style. So when we're starting drawing the next one, same thing. We apply one stroke. That's how we do use a pencil. We apply one stroke. And how to make those curve? You hold your the mouse left key. You hold your left key and drag. You hold your left key and drag. So, and then you choose both line. You choose both one. You just have to choose two. Just choose these two together. Then you can tell it automatically apply the graphic style we defined. If you feel this one need to use more heavy lines, then we kind of adjust, make it darker. Usually, so the profile line close to the ground, we usually use more heavy, use a heavy line to control this. So, all right, and same thing, apply this graphic style, and then I said we just mimic. It's super easy, right? Once you finish one stroke, if you want to finish this stroke, once you finish this stroke, okay, that's the end. If that's the end, you see it's still connected. Your cursor is still connected with some red line. Then you need to hit that escape on your keyboard. And then it kind of stops. And then basically you hit this graphic style, it's remembered. If you want to adjust this corner, let's say if you're not happy with this line, how are you going to go back and adjust? This direct selection tools. You can adjust this corner. You choose this corner, adjust, make it smooth, and then you can adjust this point. Remove them. That makes sense? So now I'm going to click them and delete it. Delete this one. All right. Okay. So basically that's how we do the all line, all around. Right now I try to stop recording, pause the recording, and then I want to finish all the line, and then we go back to talk about how to apply shade. Because otherwise, I don't know how to fast forward. It will kind of became this. This video became very long, so let me pause. Okay. So now I come back. I hope it's continue its recording. Otherwise, I will be so dead. And then now I basically add all the stroke, use the same method. Use the pen tools, kind of follow so the edge. Basically, I add all those lines. Okay, I'm missing one line here. Then I added it back, and okay. Hold on, I made a mistake. And hold my left key and drag. Hold my left key and drag. Hold my left key, drag. Once I feel this is the end of the line, I hit that press the escape on your keyboard. And then now we get a static line, it's kind of the same thickness. Then choose graphic style. So this is the graphic style, choose this graphic style we defined, and that is enough. If we think it's not perfect, you can always go back in, use this direct selection tools to adjust. Like this one, I would say it's not perfect. It's kind of bumpy lines. So we want to make it smooth. So we adjust a little, and I feel this control point is not necessary. So you should hit the pen tool again. And do you see that minor? You see on the cursor there's a minor. So you click this one, so this point being removed. Or if you don't want this one, did you see the minor? And you click this one, this point being removed. I needed this one, so I Control Z, put it back. But if you use direct selection tools, if you click this one, or if you click some point you don't want, and then you choose delete, see the line is broken. So that's different. One is just remove one point, but for this one, direct selection tool is you hit this point, you delete it, and then it's disappeared. So that's a difference between the reduce one control point and or use this one, it can delete one point and that lines won't be continuous, kind of break in the middle or something. So that is a difference how we adjust. And also, if you want to adjust some like this point, it has some control point. Let me make an example. Yeah. But anyway, I don't have any. But anyway, if you want a sharp corner or curved corner, that's how you adjust. Like this one, now it's had a rounded corner. It's curved corner. If you want a sharp corner, you just adjust this one. Do you see the change? Or you adjust the back. Adjust this one, adjust the back. Once it's became corner to corner, you just control this two handle and adjust back to the corner you want. And basically the line here and this one and the bottom, I use like the heavy line. I use a 4 point for those line and use a 4 point. It's the same style, but I use a 4 point. This one, I believe, I use 3 point here. I use 3 point here, 3 point here. But for the rest of the line, like 2 points, you can always adjust based on your drawing. This one also use a 4 point, but I reduce the opacity, make it thicker but lighter. So basically, there's a different line weights here, but these are all outline or party lines, so it's all very important. So basically, we just enhance those lines. So now you can tell the difference. This is before, this is right now. Even we go back to adjust the opacity of this image, adjust back the opacity in the image. I don't know. I guess we still can tell the difference. It's organized. Organized, it's kind of cleaned a little, cleaned our drawing. So we still want to reduce the opacity because the original drawing is not that great. So we're still gonna lock them. And then this is a layer, second layer, maybe just a different line weight. And then now we are going to create another layer. I'm gonna put it between the first layer, the drawing, and probably I would call it a marker. We are going to apply the marker stroke. So before we apply a marker stroke, we need to imagine, I want to lock this line too, lock this layer too. So now we cannot choose any lines because it's locked. We're going to use this layer to apply values. So before we apply any values, we need to imagine where the lighting source came from. Let's imagine this is the lighting source. It came from the top left. That is a terrible arrow. I will try to draw an arrow just to make it easier to draw an arrow here. So let's imagine this is where the lights came from. Okay. This is where lights came from. So this surface on this corner, I would say that is where the highlights, you know, when that surface perpendicular to the lighting source, that is where the brightest part located. So this will be the highlight area. So we just leave it blank. So the rest of them, so it's safe to say it could be, we could assume it would be a middle tone, or we call it a half tone. So now I just need to circle back to define some define some area. So this is the middle tone. Why now I have this red color? Because Illustrator remembers what is your last move. So my last move, okay. I made a little mistake. I don't know if you noticed, but you can always fix them. Okay. So I kind of changed my mind. This is the red line because Illustrator remember what you did last time. I did this red stroke, so it's remembered. So now it's became red again. But now I just need a few with a different color. And okay, can I take back what I said? Let's consider this is a core shadow area and the darkest part. So we're still gonna add a more middle tone. So or half tone, that's what we call it. So the half tone need to be a little wider. Basically, there's no rule. I would say there's no rule. You just need you just apply those shade imaginably what it looks like, and okay, that's pretty dark. So reduce the opacity. So now we have a dark gray and this light gray. So now I want to go back to edit this dark area. I cannot choose them. Why? Because it has a different layer. I draw this dark gray first. Now it's on the top. There's a light gray. So in order to choose the layer below, so what can we do? You can hit your left key on your mouse, that arrange, and then you send it back. Send this layer back. Now we can choose this one. So hit the left key of your mouse, arrange, so it's kind of bring backwards, or bring the front, or bring the center back. But everything we're talking about, the center back, bring the front, it's kind of relatively, we're just talking about this layer. All the elements on this top layer, it's all above the marker stroke. So now this hand drawing with underneath, the marker is the second layer. So you can adjust the also marker stroke inside this layer, but all those line weights we did before, it will be above all of them. So this is the core shadow. The reason I go back, want to adjust this core shadow, I just want to kind of make it a little smaller. So we have a more, I just want to, that's why I want to go back to edit this one. Get more gray area. This one, this corner. Also make this a little smaller. Zoom in, and we add this corner, this control handle, it's a little smaller. I feel pleased. It's kind of have a smooth transition here. Smooth transition. But I would say in mimic those marker stroke, it's kind of more like a freestyle. You imagine those curves, and then You adjust those curves until you kind of confuse the surface. So now we leave this one black, this corner blank here, and add some halftone on the top. You certainly need to add some halftone or core shadow along this edge. Now we're going to do this, and still, since it's a specular refraction area, so normally I would like to use some crude edge. So circle back. The illustrator automatically will fill the color, based on the first point and your current ending point. So you can see this color just follow all my points. Now I kind of sealed this shape. So now I add another core shadow here. Let's reduce opacity. So I kind of can feel the difference. Reduce opacity here. So I kind of can feel this surface. It has the highlights here, and then gray tone, half tone, and it's also switched down, so we can feel it in three-dimensional space what it feels like. And I would add another layer as middle tone, and normally go all the way to the back, and then come back again, here, come back. So the technique is very simple. I would say the difficult part is how you're going to decide what kind of value, where to apply those values. And if you make a mistake, since this is the vector line, so it's very easy to adjust. You click this one, it's called direct selection tools. You can always go back to adjust to make it smooth. Okay, wrong choice, bad choice. Okay, now it's getting better. Okay, it became smooth. Yes, because this surface is very smooth, so all those reflections need to be curved. If you don't know how to apply them, you just go to Instagram's reference page. I put together, so hope it will make sense. And so now basically we got this top layers kind of apply those values, but still we need to have those buttons. Those buttons also we could have some highlights here, and then probably would apply some value in the back. What are we gonna do with this? So you got two choices. One is you choose this highlights and you apply white color. So it's kind of became a you still choose the highlights, and then let's see, can we apply white color, and then give it some opacity. That's one way to do that. Still, it's kind of give some highlights on the top, facing this lighting source. Probably this is the highlight area, and or you can choose this one with this shape together, and then go to this pathfinder and kind of you click both, you will click to minus the front, minus the front. Do you see that? It became a one shape. And this one be subtracted. So since it became one shape, this one subtracted, you can always go back if you want to adjust. If you want to adjust this shape. So that's it. So basically, we just leave this area blank. Didn't apply any value. So you can see the difference. Now it kind of shows more. Leave this part blank, and the same thing goes here. If you want some highlight area here, and then you can apply this highlight area. I know I explained the illustrator usually remembers what your last step is. For some reason, it didn't remember last move. What I did is kind of pick a white color. So for some reason, it is still apply a black color. But don't worry, we can adjust. We can adjust it. You can apply white color, like I said, and then choose opacity. That's one of the solutions. It feels still like a highlights here. Feels still like a highlights here. So now we got those highlights and all those half tone. So it's kind of because it's the whole shape. For this one, if you want to subtract the same, you choose both. And did I choose both? This one and choose this one both. Then this pathfinder will show up. Once you click this one, this piece will be removed. So this is how we apply value on this one. So it's kind of shows us the whole three-dimensional feeling once lights came in, how we get this highlight area, how we get this half tone, and how we have this darkest area. It's called core shadow. And since it's a specular reflection, normally there's no rules like exactly how to apply. So because it's reflects the environment, it could be anything. So just use your imagination, I would say, or use a reference image. So reference image will be good. And also, I will also recommend to have another layer. Maybe we could go back to have a contour line. Have a contour line here. We forgot to do this at the beginning. So in order to have a contour line, now we hit that escape, press escape, and go back to the graphic style here, graphic style. So 70%, that's too much. So with the contour line, it's even better. It shows us how the surface curved, how the surface curved. Or you want another contour line, the curve to show maybe some button on the top, how it curved. Escape on the keyboard, choose exact same, reduce value. So basically, this line is not great, so we can always go back to adjust. So adjust this line to make it smooth. Okay, so basically we apply the value here. So let me do one demonstration for this screen area. If we imagine there will be a screen here, how are we going to do this? Let's imagine this screen or whatever, maybe it's PC, polycarbonate. So if that's the case, how are we going to do that? First of all, we kind of need outline the surface to apply a color. Choose a color for the screen. So basically, you add it along the edge. There's a corner here, so you need to hold the left key and drag a little. Okay, now we sealed this surface. We sealed this surface and we don't need a stroke here, but we do need a color. So what kind of we want? So maybe a blue screen, and then we add some opacity, and kind of give us this feelings. Yeah, I think I made a mistake because I applied this color on this layer. Let's stick that on. Okay, so if that's gonna be a screen, we're gonna use this gradient. Gradient. Do you see there's a dark color here? And if we're gonna pick another color, can you see the change? Do you see the change? So this is the kind of the gradient. If you want a different direction, so use this gradient tool on the left, you kind of drag different direction. You can see how it works. Where is a white area, and this white one, you can always choose this one first and choose opacity. Now it's kind of moving from the transparent to this kind of lighter purple color. So that's how we adjust. Maybe finally, eventually I decided that's the light I want to go. And you see, I see a little highlights here and it gets darker on this side. Maybe that's the case I don't want to go. And I also think this is some space we need to adjust a little. Because I just roughly, to get this outline, I have to adjust. So roughly put them together. Now you get this feeling, it kind of feels like a screen because we have this drawings showed up here. But still, if you wanted that screen kind of has this translucent feelings, maybe, okay, there's several choices. Maybe you can adjust this line, give this line a little color. Here, it's close to what we applied. Okay, it's not exactly the same color. Another one. Okay. And maybe you can apply another similar line to indicate the thickness of this screen. So still the same check graphic style and then the opacity. See, you see the thickness and that stroke. We need to apply a little color here. So now you kind of feels like a thickness because you see the thickness of the screen, so it's kind of became a translucent on the top. Or you can always apply some values. Let's do that. Apply some value on the side to show the thickness. I have to tell you, I'm making a mistake because I didn't apply this on the right layer. Now I got in trouble because those lines I just now I use Control Z to delete all, delete whatever I did, because I use this layer, all the line I just applied it kind of messing with the line I did before. So the good way is lock all those layers. We still go back to all the marker. You will understand what I'm saying if you did it. If you starting practice, you will know what I'm saying. Because once those points, control points close enough, the illustrator will automatically connect them. So that's why I'm saying messing with all those lines I did it before, because I don't want them connect together. So what I'm trying to do is just add some value on the screen. So again, I don't need that stroke, but I do need to apply some color features and reduce opacity. Hopefully it's not enough, and reduce more. Hopefully you can see a little thickness because I reduce a lot. Now it's kind of could blend into with the top surface, but still you can see that it has a different shade. It has a different shade. You can see a little thickness here. If still you feel it's not enough, the refraction on the top surface is not enough, you still can continue make the changes. Let me choose this layer. Okay, not this one. Okay, this one. Still lock this one because I want to copy this surface. Control C, Control F. Control C, Control F. That means you copy exactly the same items right on the top of this one. So, see, now we have two layers. One is this one and another one. So because I use Control F, it's exactly rest on the top of the bottom shape. Now I'm gonna adjust this shape based on what I already have. Let me think. Why should I try? What should I do? I want to reduce this shape. I want to remove this one. I want to remove this point. I want to remove this point. I use a pen tool. Pen tool. Remove this point. Also remove this one. Remove this one. Why? But you can always kind of just redraw another shape. I just want to make it easier. See if that works. Is that too much? You can always just go back. Go back. More ingredient. If you want to adjust the 2 points together, you just need to choose 2 points. So now I move these 2 points all together. How to choose the 2 points? You need to press and hold that shift. Press, hold the shift, hold the shift. So you click, now I click the 3 points all together. So adjust this one. But anyway, having some sharp edge to indicates the refraction. Oh, I still feel like it's near moving up. Probably need to starting adjust it here. That's just a feeling. Okay. And light 10%. See what happens. Okay. Like this one with the opacity. No, that will be too much. Okay, I give up. Probably just to keep this one white. Okay. So we have a sharp edge refraction. It's just reflects the environment. You still can see it's kind of like a screen, very smooth top. So you can always go back to adjust more if you have any other idea. Or in this case, actually, I do want to do one more thing. Kind of want to remove this back because I still want to see the thickness of the screen. So I want to keep this one, keep this the thickness of the screen. So the refraction is just on the top. So if you want to zoom in or zoom out, you just need to press and hold Alt on your keyboard. Press and hold Alt. So that's it, the screen. So for the bottom, actually exactly what I did here. I want to pause those video recording again. So I'm going to quickly finish them. Otherwise, this video just became very long. All right, I resume the recording and just quickly put together, apply another layers. Now we can tell this digital drawing how to apply value or having some touch up on our original hand drawing. Now it's almost done. So this is the original one, and we apply all the line weights and having those different layers. So that's how we done this shading in Illustrator. So that's all for today.